What's up, Pillow Talkers? Welcome back to the pod. I literally just emerged from a salt bath. Literally. I'm still dripping wet. So I feel like a wet dog and it feels great. I just ordered 55 pounds of dead sea salt and it arrived today. It was quite a challenge to get it into the house, but hey, I think it's doing what it's meant to do. So this episode this week is pulled from a conversation in my currently running program, Turned On. And this conversation is about creativity and the creative process, and it's juicy as hell. So this clip that we pulled from that full module is evoking some of this transgressive, disruptive, destructive energy that is the current beneath my next program, which I'm not going to tell you that much about now or yet, but stay tuned because it is going to free you from living in fear of what other people think in a big way. Hot damn. I also want to tell you guys that Turned On, the program that this clip you're going to listen to is from, that's currently running live. It's been so awesome. I think we're only like halfway through and like people are already starting businesses and like having major wins and like getting promotions and shit. So it's pretty powerful stuff. The program is the inner game of being on your game. It is where high performance meets quality of life. And when the program completes in a handful of weeks, I'm going to bundle up all of the recordings of both the modules and the live Q&As. And I'm going to put that into a digital course that you can dive right into immediately on the back end of this program. So if you like what I've been talking about around Turned On, if you like what you hear in this clip, I think we've done episodes with previous little clips. If you like the energy of that and you feel that you want to turn yourself on and learn about the inner game of being on your game, the back end of sustainable success, high achievement, and high quality of life, these conversations together and how there's actually a synergistic relationship between them, keep your eyes peeled because we're going to offer that to you. So without further ado, this week's episode. Relax. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Welcome to Pillow Talk Radio, the most delicious place to be. On this podcast, we explore how to create more connection, possibility, romance, and magic in love and in life. I'm your host and relationship specialist, Cora Boyd. Are you with me? We're going to have a conversation about creativity and inspiration. The process for me around creating, it's like I receive downloads. And you've probably heard me say that. When I say I receive a download, what I mean by that is an idea downloads into my mind. And it's like, oh, there's like a strike of inspiration. I'm like, oh, that thing. And then I feel excited. I feel expansiveness. And then after that download or that idea, like more downloads come, more ideas come. And then it starts to kind of this entity, this idea, this thing that I'm creating that started as a download, it starts to take form. And then my human self takes action around it, right? And takes these steps to bring it into fruition. In this process, it's like there's masculine directive energy in the steps that need to be taken, or perhaps like the structure that needs to be set forth, right? Or the schedule that I need to put myself on with the podcast, or like how I want to show up on social media. For example, we were talking about in our last call, thou shalt make 4 reels a week, right? And how that can feel kind of contractive. And the thing is, you might decide, okay, like, yeah, I want to play that game. okay, that makes sense with the algorithm. I have an intention to grow my audience, to reach more people, to have fun. My ego likes it. It's like the whole team of internal avatars get on board. And you can create whatever the fuck kind of reel you want, right? I'm actually having fun with this right now. Whereas like we can think, okay, I have to do reels. First of all, you don't have to do dick. You can choose to because you see from I'm playing the game, Paul McCartney, Harry Styles, industry, smart business person, smart enterpriser energy. And enterprising energy is creativity through the form of business. The enterpriser within you can be like, okay, that's a smart move. Let's do that. The manager might come in, and these are all internal avatars, right? The manager might come in and be like, okay, cool, we're doing it. So here are the trends. We're going to blah, 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 blah. And then the talent, and I'm going to speak for myself. My talent doesn't like following trends at all. My talent wants to create trends, and my talent just wants to express herself. And my talent will look at trends. If my talent likes a trend, like she has no problem following a trend, but she's only going to follow a trend because it feels fun for her, right? Not because it's the thing that I perceive or she perceives or the team perceives as what we have to do in order to get something, because that's actually not a magnetic energy. It's not a magnetic energy because it's a take energy. It's a who do I need to be in order for the world to like me energy. It's a way of giving your power away, right? Creativity is an innovative energy. It's in conversation with what other people are doing to the extent that you want it to be. And it's also like what innovation is. We talked about this a little bit in our last conversation of how, there's a lot of content in the entrepreneurial world, which is just like, here's how you do it. And then everyone's like, okay, here's how you do it, which is fine and can be helpful. And like, we don't have to reinvent the wheel on everything whatsoever. In fact, it can be a very intelligent, creative move to work with what works or plug into an existing masculine structure or way of doing things or whatever the case might be. But true innovation is putting things together in your own way and allowing your novelty, the novelty that is you, the novelty that moves through you, because there is no other person like you and there never will be, ever. Allowing that to come through in the entrepreneurial world, for example. And like the way that I see it is that for me, and I have a personal brand. There are particular things about what I'm doing that structurally manifest in certain ways, or there are certain structural considerations that are unique to what I'm doing. But I want to do this because I want to create shit. I want to do this because I want to like lead thought around things. And because like I want to disrupt shit. Like that's one of my reasons I came here. That's one of the things I'm doing on this planet, right? Spreading love, joy, creativity, personal empowerment, personal agency. I'm also here to have a fucking good time and enjoy myself. And like Cora, the human, is here to enjoy herself. And part of my whole thing is that I have a disruptive energy and it's fun for me. Like you guys hear me talk about mischievy. I know this is true for many of you if you're attracted to even be around me in the first place. There's fun and there's joy and there's a huge amount of creativity and creative force that comes through destructive energy. Destruction and destructive energy is part of the creative process. It's part of creativity. So for example, like the way that I relate to it, the way that I interact with it, it's like what I'm helping with in the world right now, in my own way, with Cora Boyd's energetic signature, in the way that authentically wants to come through me. I'm here to show people a different way of being. and a different way of doing things, and to really remind people by also continuously reminding myself and continuously being initiated through, everything that I share with you guys. It's stuff I've experienced. It's what I'm living myself, and like it continues to evolve and deepen, and like I continue to be in the experience. What I really feel is that sometimes people can be resistant to these conversations around energy and the universe and a lot of what we're talking about right now, right here. You might even be experiencing resistance right now, and that's totally fine. The thing is, it makes logical sense. It's cohesive with the science if you look at it. And there's a lot of mystery, right? But like, that's part of why I started studying quantum physics, because on a literal physics level, we live in a world of infinite possibilities. Like on every single level, we live in an abundant universe of infinite possibilities. Straight up. I really feel passionately that that's part of what I'm here to live out and share. And part of that means disrupting an older paradigm, or like unlearning stuff, or questioning, why do I think that's the way? Why does that have to be the way? That's not working for people. That's not working for me. There's a lot of masculine structures that need to be reevaluated and are being reevaluated. And like, there's different ways we can be doing things. There's different ways we can set up society. Part of change happening is that we have to release the old way of doing things. And we can get so fixed in this idea of like, no, this is the way that it is. It's not the way that it is. It's the way that some people decided to be like, okay, here's how we're going to structure life. Excuse me, but there's a lot of things that aren't working very well. And there's a lot of things that work way better. There are so many more options. There are so many more options for all of us. And this is part of why, like, I feel really fucking excited to be expressing myself through business. Because one of the paradigms is that we're told you can't be a creative person and like make money and make an impact and blah, 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 blah. And here's the little boxes you can plug into. Here are your options. No, it's not. That's literally not true. That's not true. Yes, we can choose to plug in existing masculine structures to the extent that we want to. We can choose to leverage tools like social media, like website, like, hey, this is what's going on in this industry. Cool. Like, how am I going to play this game of this industry? But true innovation is thinking outside the fucking box and creating your own shit. So for me, and the way that I approach this and just like my life philosophy and my creative philosophy, it's both. I see the game that other people are playing. I like playing the game. I do, right? My ego enjoys it. It's fun for me. There's a lot of stuff that's really cool and fun about it. It's like fun to learn and to discern and to figure out what are the different variables of this game. But the thing is, you gotta be connected to your own incentive. A lot of people are out here playing a game that doesn't even lead to what they are desiring, what they actually want. And the game that we are pressured to plug into is a game that doesn't often prioritize quality of life. And all of this is a huge part of why I wanted to share this program, why this program wanted to come through me at this time. We're in a really exciting moment in history. We're in a really fucking exciting moment, especially as people who are creative and want to be innovative and want to look at, okay, cool, outside of ideas of what I think, oh, this is how you do this. This is how you do business. You're only an artist if you paint every fucking morning. You're only a creative person if you have a dedicated discipline and medium that people can register that through. Fuck that. You can express yourself. You can be creative in how you live your fucking life. Yeah, you can write a book. Yeah, you can have a podcast. You can have a business. You can write poetry. You can write songs. You can do fashion. Like, you can do all of it. What wants to be expressed, and what is the medium to express that through? And we can think of a medium too as like a masculine structure of sorts. Creativity comes from a place inside of us that is not bogged down by boxes. It's not bogged down by ideas of how we think we should do things, or this is the only way to do things. You know how those things came to be in place? Someone fucking created them. That's how. What needs to happen, and what is happening, and what we need to remember is like, yeah, we're working with what works. We're plugging into and leveraging parts of the game that can help for the mission and the purpose and for what wants to take form and what wants to move through us. And anchoring into the identity of being an innovator, of being an enterpriser, of being a creator in whatever form that is currently manifesting for you, or whatever medium that expresses itself through. That could be conversation, right? You can be creative in conversation. You can be creative with solutions. Like, you can be creative with anything. It's really this ability to allow something inside of you that comes from a place, that derives from a place that is unencumbered by shoulds, to come through with fresh eyes and put things together in a novel way. No one holds the key to the universe for you. You have it yourself. No one can make or break you. That's what I have to say about that for today. Talk to you all soon. Goodbye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Pillow Talk Radio. I'm Cora Boyd, and make sure to subscribe so we can keep you in the loop. In the interim, you can find me on Instagram at the Cora Boyd, YouTube Cora Boyd, website coraboydcoaching.com. Have an excellent rest of your day, night, morning, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are, and we'll catch you next week.